Yo, what's up guys, how are you all? Welcome back to another video. So guys, let I remember you that in last video we have done and completed the chapter animals and their lifestyle. It had two parts and we have done both of them. Now we are going to start in this video with the chapter the moon. It also has two parts and we are going to start with the first part today. So let's start guys. The moon part 1. Our neighbor, the moon. The moon is our nearest neighbor in the space or universe. It is 3,84,400 kilometers away and as old as the Earth. It is much smaller than the Sun but appears to be of the same size as the Sun. It is so because the distance of the moon from the Earth is less than that between the Earth and the Sun. The moon appears as the brightest object in the sky after the Sun, but it does not have its own light. Surface of the moon. The moon is made up of rocks. Its surface is rough and uneven. There are tall mountains and deep craters on the moon's surface. Craters are deep holes that were formed when huge rock pieces called meteorites crashed into its surface. Thick and dark gray dust covers the surface of the moon. Life of the moon. There is no life present on the moon. Its gravity is almost one-sixth of the Earth's gravity. It is not sufficient to hold air particles on it. Therefore, there is no air, water, or atmosphere on the moon. The Earth receives protection from the harmful rays of the sun, but the moon does not have an atmosphere, so it is directly under the sun's rays. The part of the moon where the sun shines becomes very hot, and the part that does not receive sunlight is dark and very cold. Phases of the moon. The moon revolves around the earth as well as rotates on its axis. One complete rotation of the moon on its axis makes one moon day. Moon takes 29 days and 12 hours to complete one rotation and returns to the same point with respect to the earth. It also takes the same time to complete one revolution around the earth. Therefore, we always see the same side or face of the moon. The different shapes of the moon are called its phases. The moon and the tides. We know that almost 3/4 of the earth is covered with water. Although the moon's gravity is 6 times less than that of the earth, it is still affected on the earth. The gravitational force of the moon seems to pull the earth's water as it revolves around the earth. It pulls the water of the oceans and seas, giving rise to tides. There are two types of tides: high tide and low tide. High tide. The highest tide occurs during the full moon or the new moon phase. Fishermen need to keep track of the tides as they may be in danger if they go to sea during high tide. Low tide. The water of seas and oceans and on that part of the earth which is facing off the moon is pulled upwards, causing high tides. The areas that lie between two regions of high tides experience low tides. Approximately every 12 and a half hours there is one high tide followed by one low tide. Eclipses. Can you see inside a piece of stone? No, you cannot because it is opaque. An opaque object do not let light pass through it. When light falls on any such object, it is obstructed and casts a shadow of the opaque object. We know that the earth and the moon are made of rocks that are opaque objects. Solar eclipses. The sun seems to remain stationary in the universe. The earth travels around the sun and the moon around the earth in their respective orbits. Sometimes while moving in its orbit, the moon comes between the sun and the earth. The moon blocks the sun. When this happens, the moon's shadow falls on the earth and people in this shadow cannot see the sun. Partial solar eclipse. When only a part of the sun is blocked, it is called a partial solar eclipse. Lunar eclipse. When the moon is completely blocked by the shadow of the earth, it is called lunar eclipse. At the time of the eclipse, the sun, the earth and the moon are in a straight line. Thank you guys. That's all for today. We'll meet in now next video. Please like and the video and share also the video and subscribe the video subscribe the channel, and we will meet you in next video. Goodbye.